Check 1, 2, 2, 2. Do you do the 2, 2, 2, 2?
Hey, our first episode. The other one was an introduction. Episode 2 is the first episode where we actually answer some questions. I'm excited. It's a good day today. Had a very good day downstairs. Melbourne summer in an unair conditioned workshop. I work for my money still. All right, let's just jump right into it. First question is from Matthew Gibb. This is via Instagram. He asked 2 questions, one about chemicals, which I want to leave for the next episode. We'll answer a few chemical-based questions in the next episode. The first one's a big one. What do you think of the detailing industry? And I had a chat to Matthew on the phone recently. Matthew and I have been talking for literally almost 20 years, or about 20, maybe 20 years. Long time. Matt's a little older than me. And we came up through a completely different time in the industry. So you talk to different people, you get different perspectives. With Matt, I have that perspective, that angle. The times of no internet, or just I think I was talking to Matt, I was talking to you the other day about the internet being introduced and being new and learning how to take advantage of that and utilize that. And I think I was extremely lucky. I was living in Brunswick at the time, and Brunswick was an area that got the internet before most other people and had great fast internet. Very, very lucky. The ability to have all that information and the connections with people around the world relatively affordably. It was expensive, but it was relatively affordable, and that just did wonders for this business. I think I'd be in a different place if it wasn't for that a bit of luck there. But yeah, the detailing industry, it's changed a lot. I feel, not to be negative, for the worst. Slightly, it went through this really positive movement, and then the last few years has taken a bit of a dive, but still better than when I began in the 90s. So that's a good thing, trying to stay positive. It's just that I feel it's probably my age. As you get older, you start to get, I think, a bit negative, and you have to try not to be. It's an old man thing to say, back in my day things were better. I think that's a problem. It's just something that comes of age. You just get a bit down. I think you see the negative more, and I think, this is my opinion, that I have to be wary of being a little bit more positive and understanding that there are younger people with a different culture coming onto the scene. But when I said there was a little negative, I actually just recently saw a comment on our YouTube channel. Here's the comment: is this a joke? And obviously this guy means, is what you're saying so ridiculous that it's a joke? He knows what he's doing, and I find this a lot of this creeping in, and this is not a good sign. I don't think this guy knows me. Really knows me. I think if he came in, and I've done this before, I've invited people to come down and see me, and they actually came down. They're kind of a little bit aggressive, and then by the time they left, we were shaking hands and said, "I'll see you again," and they bought some products. That happens often. Actually happens often, because I think if people get to know me on camera, I'm very, very nervous. Even though I've done hundreds of these, I'm still very, very nervous, and I'm a different person. And anybody who's met me will agree. This is probably the most relaxed I've been, because this is my 1000th video, and I'm starting to be more relaxed on camera. But I really don't like it, and I think that gives people the perception that I'm someone else. I watch it back and I think, why do you seem arrogant? And why are you so short? And why aren't you more relaxed? And it's just something I'm going to have to. I'm a person. I'm still learning to do things, and video is still something we're trying to figure out, obviously, because we keep changing these, trying new things. I haven't got it all figured out. But I find the point of this very long, drawn-out story is that I find that if people get to know each other in person, they won't talk to each other like they do on the internet. I think from behind a keyboard, you are a different person, and it makes you worse. I went on Facebook personally. I made the mistake of being on Facebook personally. It's not a mistake. Facebook is great. It's a great tool, but it's like a soft drink. Little bit is really, really nice. Too much is really, really bad. And I spent too much time on it. And personally, I just destroyed some friendships. And I'm still friends with all those people, but I didn't like the person I was, and I had to get out of it. I saw that was just toxic for me. I wasn't brave enough and smart enough to use it wisely, and I had to get off it. I find that some people just don't know how to use it, and I'm not bagging them out. It's difficult. I made that mistake, and perhaps what this guy should have done was just gone about it in a different way. And also, if he's looking at it from a purely selfish perspective, to go about it a different way, because someone like me can help someone like him significantly. Anytime I get someone who's new to the industry, and I'm just guessing that this guy's new to the industry, he reeks of new. I could be wrong. He could be very, very experienced, and his business could be matured and whatnot. But I just find when people are new to the industry, if they come and they are smart enough to get on side with me early, there's a lot that I can help them with, and I'm usually very helpful, I find. Tell me I'm wrong, tell me I'm lying. I think I am, but I'm really just a selfish prick. Anyway, that's what I think of the detailing industry. I think it's still good, it's still improved. I think that, and again, being arrogant someone who's full of himself, but I think that I played, at least in Victoria, Australia, I played a significant role in helping the industry to be better. When I started the 400 Club and all those other ideas where we pushed the price up of detailing, and we pushed the very limits of what customers would accept to pay. I mean, we didn't charge everyone a lot, but we introduced that $400 detail at a time when the average detailing cost was $80 to $120. $180 was kind of premium service, and we charged $400. That's a huge jump. Then we charged $800, and then in 2006 or 7 we came out with the $18,000 detail. Actually, I think it was a bit cheaper back then. It's $18,000 now and has been for a long time, but it was probably $12,500, $15,000, something like that for our out and out. It was a loss leader, but our out and out most expensive detail. That was us pushing the limitations and making the industry better for detailers coming into it. There was more money to be made. You could actually be paid well. When I started detailing, you were not paid well. You worked very, very, very hard for very, very little. And when we started to charge $400, $600, $700, $800 for a detail, which now is average, and those are big details with full-on 2-3 stages of paint correction and everything, the customers were getting excellent value for money, but we were being finally paid what we should, so that we could be enthused and want to go and do that again tomorrow and do really good work for our customers. So I think that was good for everyone, good for the industry. It made the industry better. Customers wanted to buy those services because they were, even if they thought they weren't affordable, they were as affordable as they could be. More people were able to afford $800 than they afford $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 now, and they would get a lot for their money. And I think not this guy, but this is not too bad. There are people who say a lot worse about me. I think that they should. They've got a lot that they can learn from us, and I think it's disrespectful, if I can say this, I'm not pointing fingers or anything, but it's disrespectful to stand on the shoulders of giants and spit down at them. For God's sakes, it's in your best interests, if you're being purely selfish, not to attack the older crowd and use them for your benefit. Have them help you, guide you, give you advice. Look, I do believe that I do a lot to give you more and more each year of me. I'm exiting the industry. I'm on my way out. In 10 years, I won't be detailing cars. Most likely not be detailing cars. I hope I will, but I probably won't. So on my way out, I don't need to have those secrets anymore, and I'm slowly letting them go. And if you come in and see me and you're polite, it's likely that I'll give you some of those tips and tricks and help you along and put you in touch with people connections and things that I don't need anymore or want anymore, just simply because I like you and want to help you, which I do all the time. But if you piss me off, I won't do anything. I'm smart enough now just to say, oh, I just won't deal with that guy. And that's not good for you. That's useless. So my advice would be just to, if you're in the detailing industry and you're new, make friends, not enemies. You're going to have a much easier time that way. And I'm saying that I made some enemies in the past, and I can tell you from experience how much harder it is when you go about it that way. Don't let your pride get the better of you. Don't let people disrespect you, but don't go out of your way to make enemies. It's not useful. But overall, the detailing industry is still good and much better than it was in the 90s for sure. Ash via Insta asks how to remove watermarks from paint and glass. Etching, we would call it. And this is a good question because we just recently released a video showing that we're not far off from releasing a new glass system product, which is specifically for watermarks on glass. This particular product, this is not the right label. This is a label off some nanofiber. Just put it on here so we know what I like to have some kind of label on testing products, as it is a chemical and it should be labelled. Should not be able to easily make a mistake with chemicals. This product, as you have probably seen if you're watching our videos, it's only 2 videos ago we showed some video of this product in action, and I'm just gobsmacked at how good the latest iteration of it is. Not just because it's so safe and easy to use, but so fast. I just didn't expect it to have as much bite as it did, considering how safe it is. Usually making a product more forgiving and safer takes its potency away. So the compromise between all the desired characteristics are just spot on, so we're not going to tinker with it anymore. We'll release it in this version, then we'll muck around with it and try and optimize it. I don't see how, I always say that I don't see how we're going to get this any better, and then a few years later the product's significantly better through just mild optimizations constantly. Anyway, this is a great product, and if Ash, if you can go back a couple of videos and watch the glass spotting, glass etching, watermarking video with this product in it, which will be available in a couple of months, you'll see how easy it is to remove those. In paint, unfortunately, you've got to polish them out with abrasive polishing, and I know your car, we did it brand new, and we put the, I think it was a Subaru, my memory, and we put the coating on it, and that was about 5 years ago. I think it was at the old factory, which is there, that one there, number 37. Now we're over the road at number 40, so that's how much has happened since in that short space of time. Geez, it goes quickly. And that will need a coating to be reapplied, and it'll need a slight paint correction, and the paint correction will get rid of those watermarks. We'll put the new coating on. The new coating I would recommend that you apply would be the Full Metal Jacket AG, not the original Full Metal Jacket paint protection. Full Metal Jacket paint protection AG version, and that one will be slightly better and will resist etching slightly more than the old version, provided you maintain the booster. Give us a call if you're interested in getting the car back in for a birthday, and we'll remove those watermarks for you, reapply some new protection. Falcon V8, that's the truckie. I won't say his name. Via Instagram, do you put coffee on your coffee table book? There had to be a Seinfeld reference. I can't talk about it. I'm under contract with Pendant Publishing. Giddy up. 3 Stripes via Instagram. Where can I buy MSTD? There's always one Detail Addiction member with that old nugget. Calza98 via Instagram. I think this is who we've got booked in soon for a Falcon detail, if I'm not mistaken. Do you have hot chocolate in your cafe? Yes, we've got really nice hot chocolate and coffee, and usually fresh bread, which I make every day here. I make it for myself, but I make extra just in case customers would like it. I've had dozens of customers come in, and if they come in around or in the morning or around lunchtime, say, "Hey, you hungry?" "No, yeah, I can. Yeah, I'm hungry." I said, "Would you like a panini?" Or, "We made them fresh this morning," and I show them, and they say, "Oh, they look good." We cut it open, and then one of our customers, Rhett from Largo Small Goods, is just around the corner, makes fresh stuff just in Broadmeadows, just down there. Always brings us some beautiful cold meats, etc. One of our other customers, Rhett, long time customer, people from Detail Addiction again will remember him. Owns a small goods business in Broadmeadows, not far from us, and really nice to see him come in. We have a good chat. He brings some cold meats, and we slice them up on the slicer here and throw those in. And anyway, we've got a lot of stuff in the cafe. I started that to cook better for me, and this is something we'll discuss in another video. When you get to my age and you've got a job, when you're spending 70 or 80 hours a week at work, you have to look after your health, and I want to do this first and try and improve my health, and then once I've got it, I think, sorted and understood, anything that I think is interesting, we'll put in a topic for another discussion. But yeah, we've got heaps of stuff in the cafe, and it's waiting for you when you come in for your detail. Two Little Monkeys Cafe. Do you like J&R mints, junior mints? Do you like junior mints? 2 Seinfeld references, and we haven't got a Simpsons reference yet. Liam Slattery, this is an email we received. A PPBS, Gloss Boost, and FMJ safe on matte paintwork? Really good question. Or addressing 3 products. Yes, they are all safe, as I replied to Liam already, but I thought this is a good one to put on video. They're all safe on matte paintwork, and we've been testing these, or not testing, but we've had plenty of experience with these products on factory matte paintwork, on matte vinyl wraps, etc. The polyurethane films, the stone chip polyurethane stone chip protection films, the matte versions of those. We've applied all those products to those. Gloss Boost, as Liam said, he was worried about that because it says it's called Gloss Boost, and if you're putting it on matte surfaces, he was worried, rightly so, that it might adjust the sheen, and it will adjust it, but it'll adjust it by so much that some gloss meters will even have trouble picking it up, and your eye, you definitely won't see it, and it's temporary. It's why the film's on there. So for all intents and purposes, you can spray as much Gloss Boost as you want on a matte surface and you won't see any adjustment in gloss. So yes, you can use that. Ben Barclay, what products are compatible with Tesla vegan seats and how do I protect them? We get this question a lot. Don't really like the vegan thing, but I understand why Tesla do it. It's real smart marketing, I guess, to call pleather vegan leather. I don't even think that people understand that material very much. I think we could probably do a whole topic just on that material, which I think is usually polyurethane, but may not. I've got to do some more research to find out all the different materials from all the different brands, but it's usually polyurethane. Yes, you can use the leather products on them, but it's unnecessary since it's not leather. So you should use Interior Cleanse. Interior Cleanse is very cheap, very powerful. It's completely compatible with those seats no matter what the color, and it'll do the best, cheapest, fastest job of cleaning them up. He also asks whether or not they should be fed, moisturized, and my answer to him, I've already emailed him, a reply is no, you don't have to, because it's not leather, so you don't have to moisturize it. If you did nothing at all to those seats, they would last forever. Pleather, like Mercedes MB-Tex and all the other fake leatherette, pleather, all the generic terms for them, all those materials that have been around for decades, they just last and last and last, and you can hit them with aggressive chemicals, not chemicals that aren't designed for them, but stuff like Interior Cleanse will do a really fast job. Just a small amount of a relatively cheap product will go a long way, clean it really well, no damage. With feed, you can put feed onto pleather and it will make it feel better. It's subjective. I like the feel. A lot of our customers, dozens and dozens of our customers I know for sure, use leather feed on their pleather seats, and it makes them feel different, in my opinion, better, softer. It does something to them. It's not it doesn't stay oily or greasy, provided you don't use too much. You'd have to test a little section. If you come down here, we'll rub a little section on the seat for you, see what you think, try before you buy kind of deal. So that's a really subjective thing. Brian Munro, I watched your vlogs on air compressor tools. Which air compressor do you recommend for home personal detailing? And that's drying and vacuum use. And what minimum litre and HP horsepower, I'm guessing. Apologies to Brian, I didn't respond to your email, and it's quite old. I don't know why I missed it. And straight after, I know the specific video you're watching, straight after that we had tons and tons of emails asking pretty much the same question. Okay, thanks for the recommendation to buy an air compressor. I can see why you recommend everyone to have one, and I do. Every garage should have an air compressor. But recommending a specific unit is something I can't do, and I find that any relatively cheap air compressor that you buy from almost anywhere that's $150 will give you more than enough pressure and more than enough volume for home detailing use. The bigger the cylinder, the more air it can hold before it has to recharge, so that will allow you to not overwork the motor. But really just a small, just a small tank that, again, if you walk into any one of the auto stores and buy a $150 unit, it will be fine. And make sure you maintain it. And if you do that, it will last a long time, years and years and years. Just make sure you take the water out of the tank every probably month or so. Really useful and handy to have, and the more money you spend, the better unit you get. However, the more money you spend, the bigger the unit gets. And for us, that wouldn't be a problem in a workshop. We've got a vertical tank, and it's large, but it's right out of the way, so it's not a problem. But I couldn't have that in my garage. It would just take up too much space, so I'd have a much smaller unit, and for what I'd be doing at home, that would be fine. Honestly, I would spend $150 on the air compressor and $50 on a long air line. Long enough, that's important. Long enough for it to do all the things, so you don't have to pull the actual air compressor unit. They're usually on wheels, but they're still a pain to get around, so get a long enough hose and buy all the blower tools and things, so that you've got all the accessories to really enjoy using it. And that's it. That's Ask Me Anything number 2, the first episode. I hope this was nice to watch and entertaining, and you learnt something. And if it was, let me know. If you think this is useless, also let me know. We'll think of another idea. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.